Just about 2 weeks ago, Vincentians lost the veteran Calypsonian, Lloyd Caribbean Hawk Providence. This weekend, a tribute concert is set for the late Lord Hawk, organized by our own Randy D.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Before and After. With me this evening is Randy D of Vibes Caribbean, and he'll be telling us about the big weekend action. Randy, what's up this weekend?
Well, Nose, let me thank you for having me on Before and After, and let me compliment you and the friends for a great job and producing such a nice show. This weekend we're doing a tribute to Lloyd Providence, the Caribbean Hawk. Victoria Park is going to be the venue. It's opening up the doors at 6 o'clock. We're going right through until the morning. But what we're doing here, we're documenting history. The Lloyd Providence, the Caribbean Hawk, has done so much for entertainment and culture here in St. Vincent. Road March King officially and unofficially for about 5 years. Calypso Monarch in 1976. And we add into all this Snap Soul 25 years after. 1974, I created a program on the lawn, grammar school steps. Yeah, and we're doing something to commemorate 25 years of the cultural development here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Yes, and a tribute to all.
What can people expect from the Lord Hawk aspect of the show?
Oh, we have a great show lined up. We are getting all his contemporaries to come out. The Shella, Lord Priest, Young Sparrow, Sunblaze, King Brooklyn, Toiler, Imitator. The guys who worked out with Hawk, Summers, who worked out with Hawk, they'll be coming by to do a special tribute to Hawk. We're asking dignitaries like the Minister of Education and Culture, a Minister of Religion, the head of the Calypso Association here in St. Vincent, the CDC. We're asking them to come forward and say their special tribute to Hawk on that evening. And then after the Hawk tribute, we're opening up for all the great entertainment. Plumie and his one-man band, Daps Arthur and his group Higher Ground, Exodus, a return of Exodus, Black Sand, Lance Da Vinci, Patches, Roland Sardine. You've been there, Nose, you know about Snap Soul, yes. Starlift Steel Orchestra. We're taking you back 25 years to show people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines the work that we have done over the 25 years to develop the culture here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
And Snap Soul was the groundwork?
Yes, this is where the whole thing opened up. I came here in 1974 from college. I was going to Humber College, and I realized, hey man, ain't much happening here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Got together with some friends. Gotta thank Mr. Marcus de Freitas. He's always been a man who have been contributing to supporting culture here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I know he did the work on the Hawk and Shella album and a lot of the music, the early music, Latinese and stuff like that. But he was one of the only sponsor we had in those days and supported Snap Soul. And we got to thank Mr. De Freitas and all the friends who made it possible. Let me thank some other friends. I got to thank Edward Puss. Yeah. Got to thank Spooky Nights, General Spooky Nights. Got to thank Killer Hines. And I was saying to some friends a couple of days ago that I'm going to do this show, and I would hope that Killer would have been here. A couple of days ago, I walked down the road and Killer's daughter said to me, Killer's here. Yeah. So Killer's going to be here for the show.
Yeah, because we spoke about Plumie about it last week, and he said that he has to be part of this big happening.
Well, this was something that Mastermind, Checkmates, Revolution, Volume 5, all the groups who are making something happening in 1974, they had an opportunity to highlight what they were doing on the Apocalypse, right? Yeah, came and did some stuff. DJ Soul, General Spooky. We got to thank all the friends who've made it possible in 1974, and we're saying thank you in 1998.
I know it might be a bit late now, but I remember that after 1 year Snap Soul, you had created a magazine. Any plans of at least having a second magazine in the 25th year?
Well, I'm glad you remember this because I left here just after I produced a Christmas show, major show at Victoria Park. We gave the first television to the poor home, the Lois Punnett home from that show. And I left the magazine to Shaggy John, Ram Bennett and these guys. And I was happy that they did produce a great magazine and sent it out to us. We'd like to do something like this after this production.
I mean, there's a whole new generation of people and music lovers here right now who would not have known what Snap Soul was all about. Can you just give them a little idea? I mean, they could come and see Saturday night, but just an idea of what Snap Soul was about.
I had a discussion with some youngsters, got back home from college, and there are so many talented people here. And we were discussing what to do with the culture here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And Caswell Coco Samuel was sitting there. He was my designer, the man who was doing the work, together the posters and different things. And I said, we'd like to do something about the culture, wake up the people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And he snapped his finger. And he said, yeah, snap. Soul, let's wake up the people. The whole idea was to get people to realize that the talent here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines was at the standard of anywhere else. Jamaica was breaking through with reggae and all the stuff. We had the talent, and we still have the talent, and we still have not been able to market it. I'm still trying to get that done.
One of the things was free entertainment, you know.
Yes, grammar school lawn, and we got to thank the friends. I had a look at the lawn a couple of days ago, and I would like to see that something is done to the lawn, because I'm not so sure that I'm happy with what I'm seeing right there in the old grammar school. It should be used to commemorate the cultural happenings here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Right on the steps of the grammar school.
Just going back a little bit on the whole snap soul issue. I remember when we used to participate, well, most times it used to be on a Saturday. So the same truck that used to take us to Young Island, we just passed up on snap soul. Before we go to Young Island, we did some jamming, and then there was no transportation cost. But how we used to make it in terms of the cost?
Love this conversation here. Mr. Ricky Hillocks, Alric Ricky Hillocks. This is one person who we have to, and when I'm doing this thing for Hawk, and I'm doing it for Tanny, I'm doing it for Ricky, I'm doing it for all the guys who have made a contribution. But Hillocks said to me, hey man, if you're doing this, I'll be supporting you. We got a truck from Hillocks every Saturday to take us. Robert Patches nights and all these guys supplied the music. Edward Post was one of the people who helped to move the stuff. We got to thank Ricky Hillocks and all the people who made that contribution.
And the bands them used to make the contribution free also?
It was just a contribution, yeah. In 1974, nobody wanted money. We just wanted to get the exposure. And we're hoping that the friends here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines understand that this Saturday night at Victoria Park, we would like to say to you, thank you, because of the exposure we got in 1974. Lots and lots of things are happening through St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yes, there'll be a cover charge for this Saturday night show.
Well, we're charging $5. We like to do a memoriam for the people who have made a contribution. So whatever proceeds that we generate, because it's going to cost us. Everything costs here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. People like to ask, so where's the money going from this thing? But everything costs. We have videotaping the happening. We're making a CD of the happening. And we like to put up something in the park or somewhere with the names of the people who have made a contribution to culture here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We've got some great ideas. We're hoping that we got the sponsors and we get the people to come on out to support this one.
I mean, nobody glad when somebody dies, but do you think that Lord Hawk's death has given us a cultural awakening, a shake-up?
I think so. Really and truly, I didn't realize that there was no material on the television and know about Hawk. I thought that, hey man, these guys been making a contribution and we had stuff in the archives. I've been trying to produce a documentary for the last couple of days, and to find material on Hawk, it has been a problem. So here is where we're going to be making history. We're documenting what went down in the 60s and the 70s. And when any of these guys who will be performing on Saturday night goes to the great beyond, we'd have something to put on the television to say to the youngsters, here is somebody who have made a great contribution.
You mentioned a lot of Hawk's contemporaries will be performing. What about his brother, Rejector? I'm
asking Rejector to do a tribute to Hawk. I'm asking him to do a medley of Hawk's material. I know it's hard on Rejector, love this brother. I don't think he wants to come to the forefront right now, but we're pushing to get Rejector to do something for us.
Okay, Randy, well, we could stay and chat whole day about what's going to be happening on Saturday night. Here's hoping that everyone will come out and attend this very important function, because I know Hawk and he has made a lot of contribution. We had our Calypso battles. We used to always argue about what is good in terms of Calypso. But he's very dedicated, I must say. And he always believed in what he was doing. And I would like everybody to come down and support Saturday night's venture. And there's Randy. We put it all to you again. Thanks for coming up with such a brilliant idea.
Hawk. I look at Hawk like how people in Trinidad will look at Sparrow. Okay. They figured that they had a bird that was flying high. We had a bird that was flying high. Great voice, great everything. Sparrow sang real up-tempo calypso, Hawk did. Sparrow mellowed out, Hawk did. I think the Hawk did well for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We got to pay a tribute.
Radio personality Randy D will be putting on a show this weekend at the Victoria Park in tribute to the late Caribbean Hawk. Stay tuned now for a second part of Focus with Duggie Nose Joseph.
Good evening. As we continue paying our tribute to Lord Hawk, we chat with one of the men who was very close to him, Bobby Fraser, his songwriter. Bobby, good evening.
Good afternoon, Duggie.
Give us something about, tell us how it all started, the combination between you and Hawk.
Well, we are cousins, you see, we are family. And we grew up down the Bayside, and Hawk had a very good voice. And I thought I was a writer. I love to write short stories in the Orleans and so on, and poems. So he told, after he got into Calypso, he used to come with me some ideas and say, boy, I like this idea, and we will sit down and write a song. Both of us will sit down together and we'll do this song.
Can you tell me some of the better combination that you all had in terms of composition?
In the Orleans, somebody did Slave for him, I think, it's Dougie Doyle, did Slave. But he said he didn't like it, so he brought it to me, and that's the first one we did, Slave. I wrote for Feet too, Caribbean Feet, Young Wrangler, I think he was named, in the Orleans. Dougie Doyle wrote for him in the Orleans, and then he came to me, and then we did Slave, we did in the Orleans, like Big Jobs. Sheller came the next year and did another, the same year and did one, Big Jobs. We did like Oopany, we sat down and did Oopany. Really.
Oopany was a unique sort of a song in that I think he was the first Vincentian singer who explored the field of singing in a foreign language. I mean, how did you all come up with that kind of?
We were toying with the idea. The last one he did when he was out of Calypso, he started drinking. I tried to get him back with Calypso. We did Barley Kathleen, but I had a different idea for the song. But he wanted it. He had a strong idea what he wanted, so he put it in more music than anything else. Barley Kathleen, that's the last one he did, competitive.
Okay, Hawk has gone. Do you think that he got the recognition that he deserved?
I don't think so, because after Hawk wasn't working, he was there and so on, and nobody never bothered Hawk. Only a few of us, his friend Cupid, who used to be by the library there, and one or two others. And we will cakes and all them. You know, we would be together, we'll try to cheer up Hawk. But the authorities never really bothered Hawk. They never recognized Hawk, because now that everybody recognizing Hawk.
What would you like to see done in terms of Calypso now that Hawk has gone on?
For Hawk, I want to suggest that the Calypso finals, the crown should be known as the Lord Hawk Calypso crown. Yeah. You know, to perpetuate his name. I think we should have every year when they have the Calypso shows, they should donate something to Hawk family, Hawk children. He had some children here. Hawk was one of the few men who represented St. Vincent throughout the Caribbean with Calypsos. He went to Antigua, Dominica, St. Lucia, Grenada. As a matter of fact, he was one of the first Calypsonians to go on record, thanks to Marcus the Freitas, Soufre label. Yeah. Marcus put Hawk and Sheller on an LP. He, on 45, he put Hawk on the Soufre label, Sheller, and I think Leader.
Well, Bobby, it was a nice chat with you, and we hope that Hawk's memory will live on, and his death would mean something to most of us who are still alive and love the art form. Good evening. As we continue paying our respects to the late Lord Hawk, we have here with us one of the men who has been his real competitor, Jeffers ALEXIS, the mighty Sheller. Sheller, good evening.
Hello, good afternoon to everyone.
How it all started between you and Hawk in terms of the rivalry?
Well, we started in 1962, and we were very enthusiastic, very excited about entering the Calypso art form. So we know we would be competing against each other for a long time. We decided we're going to be friends and don't make the rivalry, the competition, get between our personal relationship, and we did become real close friends.
And you think you all sang in the Ambassador's Calypso tent?
Yes, we sing in the Ambassador Calypso tent. This was in the Middle Street there, Artfellas Lodge. And then we move up to Peace Memorial Hall. But apart from that, Hawk and myself, we sing all over St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The great thing about Hawk is he loved to sing for the school children. And his favorite school used to be the Anglican school. We used to go to all the primary school, also the secondary school, girls' high school, boys' grammar school, intermediate. And you can see the gleam in his eyes, because this is the thing that you really relish, singing for the kids. we'll charge 10 cents. If the kid doesn't have a 10 cents, we take the 5 cents and they come in and have a good time. This is something that really should continue to the base. You notice it's not happening anymore.
How was tent life in terms of, I mean, it was difficult in terms of getting bands to practice, but how was it when you all get to the tent and doing rehearsals?
Well, the tent was really great, I can tell you. Much different from today. We will put our music on cassette for Corwin Morris, and Corwin will arrange all the calypsos. No one paid anything. We just practiced. And the Vincentian public itself was crazy about calypso. Before we sing a note, the tent is already filled up. And everybody's exciting. And we used to sing every night. At the end of the week, the arrangement was 60% the band, 40 for calypsonians, and everybody will get a little money in their pocket. And we have a good time.
I know there's supposed to be a show coming up this weekend, Saturday. You're supposed to be performing. You think you're going to be giving it your all for Hawk?
Yes, I'm going to give it my all. And I hope that the show will be well attended by all Vincentians. And something that struck me is when I went to his funeral, before I even view his body, one of his daughters was there. She's very small. And as soon as I entered the church, she ran up to me and said, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy." Because her grandmother is saying that she thinks that I resemble Hawk so much. So then I told her, say, "No, don't call me Daddy. I'm your uncle." And she even after the funeral, after they started playing Hawk Calypso, she came up to me and she wanted to dance with me and all kind of things. I said, "Look at this." Maybe she knew something, that we were very close.
Okay.
Mm.
You're going to miss him, I guess. And I think that rivalry back then, it is not there in terms of Calypsonians now, but you as an individual, how you feel about this passing?
I was shocked. My neighbor, Tamara Job, when she called and let me know that he died, Actually, I was playing some of his music after she told me, and tears came to my eyes, because we had some good times. I remember when we travel abroad, we will stay in the same hotel room. After we finish performing, we will rap till morning and then go sightseeing, go shopping and stuff like this. He was a nice guy, kind. And a thing about him too is a sense of humor, man. Hawk had a great sense of humor. He will take anything and make a joke out of it. And I hope that Calypsonians and other artists should really get together and have a more closer association.
Okay, Shella, thank you very much. And well, the tribute continues to pour in for Lord Hawk, and we hope that people come out on Saturday and enjoy the show. I'm Duggie Nose Joseph. Good evening.